this year's red zone play calling, or is it more aggressive? How is it different from the last couple of years at JMU?
From last year at JMU compared to this year, I would say it's getting, I think we're more aggressive. I can see ourselves scoring more on fourth downs compared to last year. Definitely seeing us being more physical this year compared to last year. I mean, it's more about it. We're calling the same thing, same scheme and everything.
Go to Mike and then Jack.
Me?
Or sorry, Zach and then Jack.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I've asked everybody this, but you guys have talked since the beginning of the season about just the standard you've held yourselves to, the ambition you've had, the belief that this team could be basically on this kind of stage, playing in the playoff, playing for a national championship. Was there a moment for you though where it almost kind of went from ambition or the goal to something that you just looked around and because of what you were seeing, the way you were performing, the way your teammates were performing, whether it was in a game, in practice, whatever, you just said, this isn't just like an expectation. I know we can do this because I'm watching it happen in front of me.
It was pretty hard for me because I have a full belief in Coach Sig and staff and everything that they do. So just following them from JMU to IU, I knew from the get-go that whatever we do is special. I knew that we're not going to be far behind or that even much catching up that we need to do. I know Sig can get people like he wants and he's going to run a tight business and everybody's going to follow along. So I know that if he's getting everybody to buy in and do what we're coached to do and everything like that, I knew that from spring since I got here that we're going to have something special and that IU's going to see something that they're never going to see before.
Jack and then Seth.
Zach, I think Coach Signetti described you as like a blood and guts type of player earlier in the season. When do you think you kind of acquired those traits in your game, and where do you think that comes from?
I've been playing the same way since I've been able to play. I would just say it came from, I guess, my family. Me, how I was raised and everything I was taught. Just playing backyard football with my brother and the guys, and always just taught to be tough. And you're representing a lot, not just you, but other people. So be careful what you do. And it's always play hard and smart.
Go Seth on your left and then Rabbi.
Zach, what's the season been? How rewarding has the season been for you personally? Just with the journey that you've had on the field, moving high schools and then transferring colleges, lightly recruited. Just how rewarding has this season been for you?
It's been pretty fun and rewarding. I mean, like I said, I transferred high schools and transferred to college, and I've worked on the recruiting from high school. And so for me to be able to be at the stage and my senior year to be at playing for college football playoffs is just such a special thing to be a part of. So I'm glad to be where I'm at right now. And, it's truly been a blessing. Never taken for granted.
Rabbi, front row on your right and then Zach B.
Yeah, just wanted to ask you a question of Curtis Horton. He's top 10 in Heisman voting, top-rated guy, and top-rated quarterback in playoffs according to PFF, all those other things. You play with him, you're around him all the time. What are the things that we don't see that make him as consistent and good as he is?
I see him always being calm. He's always calm, and he's always learning mistakes, and he takes coaching really well. What I notice when he's on the field. He's a great guy too. He's just a good leader all around. He's always encouraging us, always picking up the energy. So he makes a lot of plays for us, but even when he's out on the field, does a lot for us, and he's always keeping us confident and being a great leader.
Go Zach B on your right and then Colin.
Zach, assuming your family will be there, how special will it be to play in the college football playoff with your family in the stands?
I mean, they haven't missed a game since this whole beginning of the season, and even when I was at JMU. So I'm grateful for them. I'm glad that they're still healthy and be able to move like they are, and still be able to travel. And for them to travel to Notre Dame and play at Touchdown Jesus, it's just a special thing. So for parents to be there for this whole season means a lot to me.
Colin on your right and then Todd.
Both Justice and Jalen, who were just in here, mentioned you specifically, both with the offense and defense, helping them out in practice. How does that, what does it mean to you to have that effect on your fellow teammates and getting ready for this playoff game?
I mean, that's what our whole team does. That's what we just all make each other better. I mean, it's hard to block our defense, and I hope and I tell them that I hope I make you better by me trying to block them. So that's what we've always been preaching since the beginning of the season, just try to make each other better, and that when we go out there Saturday or Friday, we can just play the best of our ability.
Todd and then Daniel.
Zach, Notre Dame's good at forcing turnovers. How much have you guys emphasized ball security during practice this week? And what do you do? Just kind of, it's always important, but how do you kind of re-emphasize it?
Just gotta keep a reminder, just have a good tuck on the ball, and we've been doing the same thing since the beginning of the season, since this whole season started, and just really preaching it, and just make sure we have good ball security where we have the ball, and just be careful with the ball. We've just been doing the same thing, I would say.
Daniel and Sabrina.
I want to say it was after Ohio State. You mentioned that when you watched that film, it was hardly even you guys, right? When you kind of look back on that and you look at the magnitude of what lies ahead, is it almost motivation for you to kind of try to show people who you really are?
Yeah, that we can play in those situations, that we can play in these type of games. Like I said, like watching the Ohio State game, that wasn't us. So we feel like we have a lot to prove, and that we're ready for these big time games, and that we can play no matter where we're at, and we can really stay confident.
Sabrina, then Will.
As you kind of look at the season that you've had this year, what is preparing for this moment on Friday night? Just a moment as big as the playoffs.
To keep everything the same, just being like Noe 6 says, fast, physical, relentless, and sticking to our brand of ball, and just doing what we do best, and just sticking to the small things.
All right, we'll go second row right to Will.
Zach, Jalen Walker was just in here talking about how much of a family and a brotherhood this team has. How much is that going to help you guys over the course of the season? How much has it helped, and how much will it help in Notre Dame?
Just like any team, if you have a good, you're really tight with teammates, you're going to be there for each other. So that's really what we've been this whole year. It's kind of hard for teams that bring in a lot of transfers to be like good brothers and all that, but within moments and practices, we all connect as one, and it's huge for games like this to know that we have each other's backs regardless, and that we're always going to be there for each other.
Great. Thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Zach.